Well, I'm all about the food always, so I always find it one way or another. I am here with Bobby from BDub's food truck. You kind of fell into this to have some play money, huh?
Yes, actually, I did. I bought a classic car, and my wife was like, "You're not going to touch our savings to fix this car up, so figure out something to do."
Okay.
And I was like, what can I do? I don't really know. And she was like, well, how about stop cooking for people for free?
Okay.
Because people always ask me to cook for them and things like that.
Yeah. So up until then, you told me even from college, you loved to cook.
Yeah.
And you were kind of the go-to guy, which I can imagine, especially in college.
Yeah.
And where have the recipes come from? Is it just, was this anything passed down, or is it just you experiment? How does that come around?
Well, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
I think cooking actually, I tell people all the time, it's funny to me when people say, oh, this is an original recipe. Because there's an inspiration that comes from somewhere.
Yeah.
You take a little bit of this and
Right.
a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what what I've done. My mother was the first cook that I've, ever been around. So
Yeah.
a lot of the foundational recipes and things came from her. And then, of course, I love to eat.
Yeah.
So I'm that person that will go and say, oh, this is good. I think it would be better if this was
Right.
added.
Okay.
And then I will try it, I'll add it. My parents are from the South, from North Carolina.
Okay.
And so, we are BDub's Island Soul. So we have the island side and the soul side. The island side is my wife, my late father-in-law, and my mother-in-law.
Okay.
They are from Jamaica.
Oh, nice.
And so I will say I was honored and blessed to have my father-in-law kind of just give me all of his knowledge and recipes.
That's awesome.
In cooking. And so I had that. And then, of course, I had the soul side of, like my parents and, people back down in North Carolina and how they cook.
Well, that fusion, I think, it just complements each other so well, because the islands, even sometimes with the spices or the flavorings of the fruits and all of that, combined with, that soul food, I think it is a home run, obviously. So, yeah. Okay, so you got the truck. You said, okay, I'm going to make my money for this car.
Well, yeah, so it started, it's funny. It started off with just family and friends.
Okay, so you just...
Because I'm like, okay, this is going to be small. Let's go ahead and hit this and get this money, get the car.
Yeah.
And so it started off with family and friends, but just like with any good thing, they couldn't keep it to themselves. And so it just kept growing and growing and growing.
Yeah.
And it was getting crazy. Each week I would put out a menu on Monday, and people would have by Wednesday to order, and they would pick up their meals on Friday.
Oh.
Now,
that's a good system, though. I like it.
It was. However, I was, I guess what they say, overzealous a little bit.
Okay.
So I would offer anywhere from 10 to 20 different meals.
Oh my God.
That a person could choose from.
Oh, wow.
And this is with desserts and everything. So it was kind of interesting because you would have, if I had 15 to 20 orders, it might be 13 different dishes that I was preparing for that week. So, but I loved it. I really did. I was still working full time.
Okay.
And doing this on Fridays, and it just got to a point where I'm like, okay, you know what, this amount of people has grown.
Yeah.
I was sending text messages out to the family and friends, to say this is what's on the menu.
Yeah.
But then, when you get to 60 and 70 and 100 people, I'm not sending out that many texts. So I'm like, okay, how can we get this out to everybody that, participates? And my sister-in-law was like, why don't you just start a private Facebook page. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So we started the private Facebook page, and that was going well, still continuing to grow. And it really pretty much got to a point where I had to have a conversation with myself, with my wife. Is this something that you can see yourself doing, full time as your full-time job? And I was like, I really think I can.
Yeah.
We then decided, okay, if we're going to do this, let's see what direction we're going to head. And people always will ask or will say, can't wait till you get a restaurant. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't think I want a restaurant.
Yeah. So I do love the idea of a food truck because you are a rolling restaurant, but
Yes.
you can go when you want to go and shut when you want to shut and have staffed, the staffing isn't nearly as strenuous as it would be for a restaurant and things like that.
Exactly.
So I do think it's a great happy medium in between the two. So you've been rolling out for a few years now.
Yeah, we actually we were doing catering for a while. We've been rolling since October of 2022.
Awesome. What is your biggest seller? Most popular item, maybe?
Our signature boats are probably our biggest seller. We have two. It really just depends on location where it is, but they are the soul boat, and that's a layering of mac and cheese, collard greens with smoked turkey, candied yams, and shredded barbecue chicken.
Wait a minute, all layered onto like a nacho?
Yeah, layered on top of each other.
Wow,
and
okay.
topped with barbecue and or hot honey sauce.
Oh my gosh,
Yes.
okay.
So
I can understand why that would be number one for
that's
sure.
the soul boat. Then we have an island boat as well, and that is a layering of rice and peas, steamed cabbage, sweet plantains, and shredded jerk chicken with our signature jerk aioli on that.
Oh my gosh, okay. Mouth is absolutely watering.
When people were coming to my house to pick up the food, there would be times where I was running late, I would give people times to pick their food up. So I'd say 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, sometimes your food wasn't ready till about 5:15, 5:20.
Right.
So people would come in, they would sit down,
yeah.
they would talk,
It was,
so it was
social thing.
It was, and I didn't know that people actually looked forward to that until we moved to the commissary kitchen.
Yeah.
And people started complaining.
They missed the interaction.
They're like, hey, this is cool and we're happy for you, but
we need our updates.
Yeah, we don't. Can we go back to the house? So it was interesting, but yes, I that allowed us to build a foundation of not just patrons, but actually people who have become like family.
Yeah.
We were doing it for family and friends outside of our house for I'd say maybe a little over a year.
Okay.
And so you build those relationships.
Of course.
People would come in and their food would be ready, and they would still sit down.
Yes,
want to talk and ask about different things
Sure.
and where we were headed and all of those.
Well,
things.
that's what food is all about, right?
It brings people together.
Right. So when I think about growing up with my mom's family was Italian and the Sunday dinners and all of that, that's really what it is.
Yeah. My partner is normally the one that works the most with me. Jeff Koa. And he and I run the truck like a well-oiled machine.
Isn't that nice?
It is very nice.
It's a small space, so you have to kind of be able to have that dance and know where you're going to go.
We often say that.
If there was one thing you wanted everybody to know about BDub's Island Soul, what would that be?
Our name, our motto, BDub's Island Soul, where taste buds meet paradise.
Love it.
And that's really, where we try to strive for, I don't bash anybody else's restaurants or food trucks or anything like that. I tell people,
every taste for everybody.
There you go. Come taste for yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, determine, where you go from there.
Yeah. Where can people find you? So if they want to keep up and know where you are, do you update your Facebook page?
The updated Facebook page.
Okay.
Every Monday. If people want to reach out to us, they can email us. They can text.
Yeah.
We're in a lot of the neighborhoods and things
Oh, nice.
now.
Okay.
So,
and if somebody wanted to book you like for a private event, is that like catering,
yeah,
or
definitely.
you can come out? Okay.
Yep, definitely. They could reach us on email, bdubsislandsoul@outlook.com.
Okay.
And send us an email or just text or call.
Yeah.
I'm pretty, reachable.
Yeah.
Even if I don't answer the phone, if they leave a message or a
Yeah,
text,
yeah.
then we try to make sure we get back to them, and they can just give us as much information about their event as possible.
Yeah.
And we will look at our calendar and see if we can, make it
swing
happen.
it, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right. Well, we want to thank Bobby, BDub's Island Soul. Find him on Facebook. Go to one of the events. Get the food that's going to make your mouth just sing.
Yes.
I promise. We'll see you next time.